My name is Sabrina Ruis. I'm a post-doctoral research associate. I got interested in science through work on my family's strawberry farm up in central Minnesota, and I fell in love with plants, fell in love with soil, and I had some really good science teachers in high school and throughout college that encouraged me along the way. My research on cover crops looks at how do we best manage them to get the most benefit from them while balancing yield from our primary crop. The simplest way to define it is a plant that's growing to cover the soil surface. A lot of people will plant them for erosion control, both water and wind erosion, because you're having something on the soil that protects it when the primary crop is not there. But also when we have water erosion that comes through our field, the sediment and the nutrients that are part of that soil are washed into above ground water sources like our rivers and lakes, and then they make it downstream and cause hypoxia, fish kills, and algae blooms. Other things that people will use them for is to capture excess nutrients. So like after you've harvested a corn crop, you plant a cover crop, and then if there's any nitrogen or even phosphorus left over from that main crop, the cover crops can use some of that and store it in their tissues. I look at early and late termination of cover crops. Basically, the longer you can let them grow, whether it's planting early or terminating late, the more benefits you're going to have to the soil. However, that does need to be balanced with yield. And then I'm also looking at the soil health aspects. So we're looking at erosion, we're looking at leaching. If we just do the research and keep it within academia, then you cannot change practices in the real world. So you have to communicate that with the farmers, tell them, okay, these are the data that we have, this is what the research is showing, and then they have to make the final decision on whether or not to adopt those new practices, or sometimes they'll give us new questions that we can pursue, and then we can work with them to tweak the process just a little bit. I love being in the science field. I love working with farmers and plants and soils, because the farmers themselves are generally very down-to-earth people that are very interested in the subject matter. They're more than willing to dig in and get the job done and be involved on the project. And that's my background, that's what I came from. When you've done a project and you get data back and you can see, okay, this is the story that this data is telling, and then being able to relay that story to both academia and the farmers, it is incredibly rewarding.